Have you ever noticed your legs feeling weaker as you age? Even though you're doing your best to eat right and stay active, you're not imagining it, and you're certainly not alone. Many seniors assume that all fruits are healthy because they're natural. But the truth is, some fruits can actually work against you, especially after 60. What most people don't realize is that certain fruits may quietly contribute to inflammation, nerve irritation, and poor circulation leading to leg pain, stiffness, and even trouble walking. For older adults, eating the wrong kinds of fruit could slowly chip away at the strength and stability you depend on every day. That's why it's so important to understand which fruits might be making things worse. In this video, we're going to reveal 7 fruits that could be harming your leg health and what you can do instead to keep your body moving with ease and confidence. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Bananas. The muscle imposter. For years, bananas have held a trusted spot in many seniors' kitchens. They're soft, portable, and known for being rich in potassium, a mineral associated with muscle health. That reputation has made bananas a go-to snack for those hoping to maintain energy and support their aging bodies. But what if that trusted yellow fruit is actually doing more harm than good? Especially when it comes to your legs. As we age, our metabolism slows and our sensitivity to sugar increases. Ripe bananas, in particular, are loaded with natural sugars and fast-digesting carbs that turn quickly into glucose. This rapid absorption sends your blood sugar soaring, prompting a spike in insulin. Over time, these frequent spikes can contribute to insulin resistance and poor circulation, especially in the legs. When blood flow is restricted, the oxygen and nutrients your muscles depend on are limited. That can mean tired, achy legs, reduced stamina, and a noticeable drop in how quickly you recover from everyday movement. Many older adults start noticing that their legs feel unusually heavy after eating. There's a sluggishness, a discomfort when climbing stairs or going for a walk. These aren't random signs of aging. They may be directly tied to what's on your plate. Bananas, though easy to chew and seemingly innocent, can quietly contribute to muscle fatigue and leg weakness if consumed too frequently. And the issue goes beyond sugar. For seniors with heart conditions or those prone to fluid retention, bananas can also encourage water buildup. That excess fluid often settles in the lower legs, ankles, and feet, making them swell and feel stiff. The result: less mobility, greater discomfort, and more strain on your balance. We've been told for decades that bananas are a strength food, but real, lasting strength isn't about a quick sugar hit. It's about steady support and smart nourishment. And unfortunately, bananas may not be delivering on that promise for older adults. So the next time you reach for a banana out of habit, pause and consider, is this helping your legs stay strong or quietly setting you back? And if something as familiar as a banana carries hidden risks, just imagine what seemingly innocent grapes could be doing to your joints. Let's explore that next. 2. Grapes. Tiny fruit. Big inflammatory impact. At first glance, grapes feel like the perfect snack: small, sweet, and easy to grab by the handful. They're often praised for their antioxidants and connection to heart health, which makes them a common staple in many seniors' kitchens. But what most people don't realize is that these seemingly harmless little fruits may be doing more damage than good. especially to your legs and joints. Behind that juicy sweetness is a high concentration of fructose, a natural sugar that your body doesn't process the same way it does. Glucose, instead of being used right away for energy, fructose gets handled by the liver, where it's far more likely to turn into fat and uric acid. Here's why that matters when uric acid builds up in the body. It tends to settle in the joints. For older adults, that can mean sudden, painful flare-ups of gout, often starting in the toes, ankles, or knees. 1 minute you're feeling fine, and the next you're dealing with burning, swelling, and sharp pain, often hitting hardest at night when you're trying to sleep. Even if you don't develop gout, the high fructose content in grapes still fuels inflammation throughout the body. And for aging legs already under pressure from weakened circulation, thinning cartilage, or old injuries, that added inflammation can quietly speed up the decline. What once felt like a small ache becomes a chronic problem. Tender knees, stiff ankles, tightness in the calves. What makes grapes even trickier is how easy they are to overeat. They don't require peeling, slicing, or even chewing much. Just a few here and there after lunch, during a movie, as a quick snack, and suddenly you've taken in more sugar than you realize. It doesn't feel like a big deal in the moment, but over time, your legs begin to pay the price. Less energy, more swelling, slower steps. That nagging feeling in your lower body becomes your new normal, and that's not how it should be. So, while grapes may look innocent in the bowl, they're not always innocent in the body, especially not for seniors trying to protect their mobility. And if grapes can be this sneaky, imagine what happens when you reach for a fruit that feels even more refreshing but hides even more sugar. Let's talk about the surprising truth behind watermelon. You won't believe how it may be affecting your leg health. 3. Watermelon. The false hydrator. Watermelon brings with it a wave of sweet memories. Summer afternoons, sticky fingers, laughter with loved ones, and that first bite of cool fruit under the sun. For many older adults, it feels like the ideal treat, light, hydrating, and easy to chew. But there's a side to watermelon that doesn't get talked about enough, especially when it comes to how it affects aging legs. While it may seem harmless, even beneficial, watermelon can quietly interfere with your strength, mobility, and recovery, especially if it's part of your regular diet. The issue lies in its sugar load, and more importantly, the speed at which that sugar enters your bloodstream. Watermelon has an extremely high glycemic index, meaning it causes blood glucose levels to rise fast. That might feel like a short boost of energy, but for older bodies already managing slower circulation or blood sugar sensitivity, it's more like a storm. After that surge, the body experiences a crash, to triggering inflammation that settles in the joints and soft tissues, especially in the lower body where blood flow is already more sluggish. You might notice the effects sooner than you think. A sense of heaviness in your legs, soreness in the calves after a short walk, swelling in the ankles by evening. Many seniors chalk this up to age, but often it's your body reacting to a fruit that seems innocent on the outside but behaves very differently once digested. The sugar spike also leads to water retention. That excess fluid often settles in the places you rely on most for movement. Your knees, your ankles, to your feet, turning flexibility into discomfort. Watermelon is deceptive because it tastes so light, but inside your body, it acts more like a sugary dessert than a gentle fruit. And for people over 60, whose metabolism and insulin response are naturally slower, the consequences can be magnified over time. A few cubes after lunch, a slice before bed, these tiny choices add up. So, while watermelon may look like a healthy option, it can quietly undermine your ability to move with ease. And if something as watery as this can cause that kind of strain, what about fruits that are acidic, sharp, and often praised for boosting immunity? The next fruit we'll talk about is sitting in many refrigerators right now, and it may be doing more harm than good. Let's take a closer look. 4. Oranges. The acidic assault on joints. Oranges have always carried a glow of health. They're bright, refreshing, packed with vitamin C, and often seen as a natural way to fend off illness. For many older adults, a glass of orange juice in the morning feels like a simple, healthy start to the day. But what if that daily ritual, so familiar and comforting, was quietly working against your joints, muscles, and leg strength? The issue isn't just the sugar, though that's part of it. Oranges are rich in citric acid, and while that may not sound threatening, it can be a real problem for aging bodies, especially those already battling joint pain, arthritis, or inflammation. Think of it this way: when cartilage begins to wear down, it becomes more sensitive. Adding acid into the mix is like rubbing salt into a wound. It irritates the tissues, increases stiffness, and can make recovery after walking or standing take much longer than it used to. You might not notice it right away. It may start with a bit of tightness in your knees when you first stand, a dull ache in your hips that seems to settle in after meals, a strange tension in your calves that lingers. These are the whispers of inflammation, often triggered or worsened by everyday foods we don't suspect, including oranges. Then there's the sugar. Oranges, especially when juiced, deliver a fast dose of fructose to your system without the buffering effect of fiber. That sugar spike can throw off insulin levels, and when this happens repeatedly, your body's inflammatory response can flare. This doesn't just target your blood sugar, it affects your joints, your connective tissue, and your blood flow, all of which are vital to strong, stable legs. What once felt like a nourishing habit may now be subtly undermining your mobility. The body in your 60s, 70s, and beyond handles stress differently. It doesn't bounce back as easily, and the foods that once helped you thrive may now require a second look. So if a fruit as well loved as an orange can be hiding these risks, what about the crisp, tart green apple? Many assume is a perfect snack. Its sharpness may be doing more than waking up your taste buds. It might be working against your joints. 2. Let's take a closer look. 5. Green apples. A hidden source of leg pain. Green apples have long been seen as the cleaner, sharper cousin in the fruit bowl. Their firm bite and tangy taste give the impression of something light and refreshing, perfect for those trying to make better choices. For many older adults, a green apple feels like a safe, even wise snack. But under that glossy green surface lies a combination that's not as innocent as it seems, especially when it comes to aging joints and leg strength. One of the main concerns is malic acid, the very compound that gives green apples their signature tartness. While malic acid can help with energy production in moderation, it's also known to irritate sensitive tissues, particularly in people who already deal with inflammation-related conditions like arthritis or fibromyalgia. In these cases, the acid may stir up discomfort far from the digestive tract, spreading instead into the joints and muscles of the lower body. Seniors may begin to notice unexplained stiffness, aching hips, sore knees, or a dull pain in the legs that never quite goes away. And that's just half the picture. Green apples, despite their tartness, still contain naturally occurring sugars. For those over 60, when the body becomes less efficient at regulating insulin and metabolizing sugars, this can trigger frequent blood sugar swings. These fluctuations disrupt healthy blood flow, particularly to the legs and feet. The result: less oxygen reaching muscle tissue, slower recovery from activity, and more frequent fatigue or heaviness after even moderate movement. The impact is subtle at first. Maybe your legs feel heavy when you stand up. Maybe stairs take a bit more effort than usual. Maybe those random calf cramps or nagging foot aches aren't just getting older after all. And when green apples are eaten on their own, often between meals or on an empty stomach, the body absorbs their contents even faster, magnifying the effects. Your body is always trying to communicate. That discomfort you're feeling, it's not just age, it could be a reaction to something you thought was helping. And if green apples, with all their reputation for health, can quietly be causing strain, it's worth asking, what about fruits that are even sweeter, even softer, and often eaten daily without question? There's one in particular trusted for its potassium, favored for its convenience, and quietly draining strength from your legs with every bite. Let's take a closer look at bananas. 6. Pineapple, the silent trigger of inflammation. Pineapple is often seen as a healing fruit, bright, tropical, and full of life. For many seniors, it's praised for containing bromelain, an enzyme believed to aid digestion and reduce swelling. It's no wonder so many people over 60 consider it a smart addition to their diet. But behind that juicy sweetness lies a troubling reality, especially when it comes to leg strength and joint comfort. As we get older, our bodies change in how they process sugar and acid, and pineapple is high in both. The natural sugars in just a few slices can trigger sharp blood sugar spikes, even in those who don't have full-blown diabetes. And these spikes don't just affect your energy, they damage the tiny blood vessels that supply your legs with oxygen and nutrients. Over time, this weakens the muscles in your calves and thighs, stiffens the knees, and slows down your natural ability to move with ease. But that's not all. The acidic compounds in pineapple, combined with its sugar load, create the perfect storm for inflammation. You might feel a little ache in the back of your legs or a subtle tightness in your feet and assume it's just aging. But for many seniors, those symptoms are actually signs of chronic, fruit-fueled inflammation, especially if pineapple is a regular snack. And for those already coping with arthritis, joint pain, or circulatory issues, this inflammation only adds fuel to the fire. What makes pineapple even more risky for older adults is bromelain itself. While often marketed as helpful, this enzyme can interfere with medications commonly prescribed to seniors, especially blood thinners. The result: more bruising, slower healing, increased tenderness, and sometimes even unexplained leg weakness. It's a side effect few people associate with fruit, which is why it often goes unnoticed until discomfort becomes the new normal. You might think that a small bowl of pineapple can't do much harm, but when consumed frequently, those sweet bites can quietly wear down your lower body's resilience. So before reaching for another chunk, it's worth asking, are you soothing your body or stressing it? And if pineapple, often considered a digestion-friendly fruit, can stir up this much trouble, what about tropical fruits that taste even sweeter, yet carry their own hidden risks? There's one in particular, golden, juicy, and beloved by many, that may be quietly straining your joints and blood sugar more than you realize. Let's take a closer look at mango. 7. Mango. The sugar bomb for your joints? It's hard to resist the allure of a perfectly ripe mango. That soft golden flesh, the tropical aroma in the smooth bite. It's a fruit that feels like a little vacation. For many older adults, mango represents something joyful and harmless, a refreshing escape that seems both delicious and healthy. But hidden inside that golden sweetness is a serious concern that few seniors ever suspect, because mango happens to be one of the richest natural sources of sugar among all fruits. And for aging legs and joints, that can mean trouble. A single medium-sized mango can pack over 45 grams of sugar, surpassing what you'd find in a full can of soda. The issue isn't just the number. It's how that sugar behaves inside a body that no longer processes it as efficiently. As we age, our insulin response slows down, and the sugar stays longer in our system, fueling inflammation, especially in soft connective tissues like ankles, knees, and hips. The impact isn't always immediate, but it builds. You may begin to notice your legs feel heavier than usual. Your feet might swell more often. Stairs feel steeper, and short walks become tiring. It's not just the years catching up, it's the inflammation setting in from within. And that's not all. The concentrated sugars in mango can also irritate nerves, which is especially dangerous for seniors dealing with diabetes or early neuropathy. That tingling sensation in your toes, or the burning discomfort that creeps in at night, it might not be age alone. It might be the mango you enjoyed with dinner, quietly fueling the problem. Mango feels so light and innocent, which makes it easy to eat more than intended. A few extra bites here and there don't seem like much, but for a body that's sensitive to sugar, it adds up quickly. And when your legs begin to protest with fatigue, swelling, or pain, it's already too late for that meal. So the next time you consider adding mango to your plate or blending it into a smoothie, pause for a moment, ask yourself, is this fruit still working for me or slowly working against me? Because mango is only one of 7 common fruits that may be quietly draining your strength. But the good news is, there's another side to this story. Let's take a look at the fruits that actually build strength, those that soothe inflammation and restore energy to your legs. One bite at a time. 8. What should seniors eat instead? It's never easy to realize that foods we believed were healthy fruits we reached for out of habit and trust may have been slowly holding us back. That realization can bring disappointment, even a sense of loss. But with greater understanding comes the power to make better decisions, and this stage of life isn't about regret. It's about renewal, moving forward with wisdom, compassion, and intention. For seniors experiencing leg fatigue, swelling, or lingering joint pain, the solution isn't to cut out fruit altogether. It's to shift gently toward choices that heal instead of harm. Let's begin where nature whispers healing with berries. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries aren't just delicious, they're packed with antioxidants and low in sugar, making them a gentle yet powerful ally for aging bodies. They help protect cells from damage, reduce inflammation in joints, and promote smoother blood flow, especially to the legs and feet. Adding a handful to your breakfast or snack routine can make a meaningful difference over time. Cherries also deserve a place at the table, particularly for those dealing with gout or chronic joint discomfort. In modest portions, they help lower uric acid levels and soothe the flare-ups that often catch us off guard in our later years. Their effects are quiet, but impactful. Then there's avocado rich, nourishing, and remarkably supportive. With its abundance of healthy fats, it cushions the joints, stabilizes blood sugar, and provides steady energy. Unlike fruits, high in sugar, avocado brings calm to your metabolism rather than chaos. Papaya, often overlooked, is another gentle companion. Its soft texture is kind to aging digestion, and its natural enzymes work to ease inflammation from the inside out. It's a fruit that doesn't demand much, but gives so much back comfort, relief, and subtle strength. Even the humble pear, when enjoyed thoughtfully and paired with protein or fiber, offers light sweetness that doesn't overwhelm the system. It hydrates, satisfies, and supports circulation without triggering sudden sugar shifts. At this stage, food should be your partner, not your problem. Each bite you take can either lift you toward mobility, steadiness, and vitality, or pull you back into stiffness and strain. The key is not in avoiding fruit, but in choosing the right ones with care and purpose. Let what you eat reflect the love and wisdom you've gathered over a lifetime. Because when your body is nurtured properly, it rewards you with strength, clarity, and ease. And it all begins with the fruits you now choose to welcome in and those you gently say goodbye to. Final thoughts from one senior to another. After a lifetime of steps, some steady, some shaky, I want to speak to you not as a health expert or voice on a screen, but as someone who truly understands, someone who has felt the weight of time in their knees, the quiet stiffness after a walk that used to be easy, and the worry that maybe, just maybe, the strength we once took for granted is slipping away. Aging brings its own set of challenges, and no one really prepares us for them. But here's what the years have taught me. We are not powerless. Every day gives us the chance to make a better choice for our bodies, our independence, and our future. We've been told all our lives that fruit is good for us. It was the snack of choice in childhood, the thing doctors praised, and the gift we gave one another to say, "Be well." And truthfully, fruit was perfect when our systems were younger, when digestion was faster, blood sugar more stable, and inflammation less of a concern. But now, in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, our bodies are more sensitive. They ask us to pay closer attention, not just to what we eat, but how we feel afterward. The fruits we've explored together today aren't villains. They're not the same as processed junk food. But for older adults, those of us with slower circulation, joint issues, and delicate nerves, they can do quiet harm. They can trigger inflammation, spike blood sugar, and drain the energy from our legs. And when your legs go, so does your freedom. Walking, standing, stepping out into the world, these are not luxuries. They are life, and they're worth protecting. You don't have to give up everything overnight. In fact, I don't recommend it. Change doesn't have to be loud. It can be soft. Start by noticing. Notice how your body reacts to the fruits you eat. Notice if your legs feel heavier, or if your joints feel swollen an hour after that sweet snack. Let your body guide you. It knows more than you think. This isn't about blame. It's not about what you should have done differently. This is about learning. And learning is still possible. Even now. Especially now. Because this part of life isn't an ending. It's a new chapter. One where you get to write the rules. One where strength, balance, and clarity are still within reach. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. So take care of those legs that have carried you this far. Be gentle with yourself. Make choices that support healing, not harm, because you deserve mornings without aches. You deserve afternoons with energy. You deserve to walk confidently into the years ahead. If something in this message touched you, I invite you to share one insight in the comments. Let's learn from each other. Let's grow together. And if this video helped, please leave a 1 below. If not, feel free to leave a 0. Your voice matters here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back next week for more ways to stay strong and steady on your terms.